Want to grow your income without piling on more client work? I added $100,000 a month doing just that. So in this video, I'm going to show you 10 steps I took so you can copy my exact blueprint and skip all the guesswork. And hey, if you want to go deeper and work directly with me to build this out in your business, there's a link below for more info on my program. But first, I have to show you an important step that most people skip, but it's really the foundation that makes productization possible in the first place. We didn't start with a course, a big launch, or a huge team. We started with a simple productized done-for-you service. It was a 1-week offer, and when we launched it, it was priced at $7,500, and we worked our way up to $15,000. Now, because this was a fixed scope and tightly packaged product, we could take on about 3 to 6 clients a month without burning out. That meant just 3 clients at $10K a month got us to $30K a month, 4 to 5 clients, $35 to $50K a month as the price was rising. Now, there were no custom proposals, no scope creep, no complexity. That gave us a stable 25 to 35K a month base with plenty of margin and a whole lot of sanity. We didn't try to take done-for-you services all the way to 100K a month. We actually used it as a foundation to build something a whole lot bigger and more profitable, which is what I'm gonna show you a little bit later in this video as we move to phase 2. But before that, I have to show you how to build phase 1, which is taking a service and then turning that into a product that helped, again, generate over $100,000 extra without more client work. Step 1. Early on in my agency, we built marketing and sales automation for all kinds of clients, but every project felt different. One client wanted webinars, another wanted a lead magnet campaign. Some wanted just the tech done for them. Others just wanted our automation strategy. We kept figuring it out on the fly as we went along, which really made it hard to predict how many clients we could handle at any one time, let alone know how much we would be able to grow because of it. The turning point came when we stopped trying to serve everyone and we got super specific. We focused on keep users, formerly known as Infusionsoft, and instead of offering automation help, we leaned into one result that they all ended up wanting, which is a fully automated evergreen sales system. That one decision changed everything inside of our business. Clients got what they truly wanted. We got to solve the same problem over and over and over again, which meant faster delivery, better margins, and more confidence in our capacity to take on more business. So let me show you how to do the exact same thing, how to get laser focused on one person with one valuable result and turn that into a foundation for a scalable offer. Simply complete this sentence. I help, insert your avatar, achieve, insert result. Sounds simple, right? But don't underestimate this. It's literally everything. Here's how we're gonna do this. Step number 1 is to pick your best fit client. Who do you already get results for? Bonus points if you genuinely like them and their business. You're gonna be working together for a while. Step 2 is to define the result that they really want. Do they want more revenue? Do they want less stress? Do they want faster results? Step 3 is then take that and plug it into the formula that I just gave you. Here's what mine looked like when I started. I help Infusionsoft users sell more courses and services using evergreen sales funnels. That one sentence became the foundation for my offer, for my marketing, and eventually my entire business model. Now that you've got a clear outcome for a clear person, let's tackle the next step, turning it into a product. Step 2, even though we had a specific outcome, which was the evergreen sales system, clients would get on sales calls and ask, so how does this actually work? And honestly, every time my answer was a little bit different. I'd try to explain it off the cuff. Sometimes I'd focus on the actual deliverables they got, other times on the results that they were going to experience, but it really never felt consistent. The problem was that we were great at what we did, but we didn't have a simple way to communicate it. We didn't have a method, something that made the invisible visible. And that lack of clarity led to 2 really big issues. On the sales side, it created doubt. Prospects asked more questions, they took longer to decide, and often they felt uncertain. On the delivery side, we constantly found ourselves dealing with scope creep. Since we never clearly showed them how we worked, clients just assumed that we would do everything or anything that they asked. The real conflict came when we took on a client that completely burned out our team. Not because the work was too hard, but because it was never ending. The scope was a moving target, and it hit me. This wasn't just a communication issue. It was a systems issue. That's when we realized we needed a signature framework, something to show, here's how we work. Here's what's included, and here's what's not. This is what ours looked like. Phase one of work was gather. We'd collect assets from the client. We'd clarify the client journey flow. We'd identify any gaps. Phase two, we would assemble, which really meant we would build the automations out. We'd set all of the logic for timing and days, et cetera. And then we connect all of the landing pages that were required to send people through on this journey. And phase three was really the launch phase. We would test everything, we'd go live, and then we'd be optimizing based on the results that they were seeing. Now, once we named our steps, gave it a visual, and made it a part of every sales and onboarding conversation, the game completely changed. Sales got easier because clients could see the plan. Delivery got smoother because everyone stayed in their own lane on our team, and our team had more confidence and clients had more trust. So let me show you exactly how to take the outcome of your service and turn it into your own signature framework. Step one is to list out all the actual steps you take to get a client the result that we defined earlier. Now, what I like to do is just grab a bunch of sticky notes, hop into a conference room or on a table, and just start writing down all of those steps onto stickies and putting them onto the wall or the table. Step two is to group those into kind of 3 logical phases and or buckets. Now, for step 3, we want to break each phase into specific actions and or deliverables. So once we have all the sticky notes, then we're going to organize them into kind of 3 distinct phases. And then within those phases, we want to organize them so that they're more sequential, as in which steps are we going to do first, then second, and then after that. Now, a bonus step is to give this thing a name. Frameworks that sound legit will get remembered. So when you do this correctly, you will go from I offer help to I deliver outcomes via this specific system. But a framework isn't enough on its own. That's why the next step will help you avoid custom proposals and delivery scope creep. Step number 3, even with a great framework, if your delivery isn't repeatable and tightly packaged, it can still fall apart. We were still customizing the scope, changing the price, and bending the process every time a new client came in. Honestly, it was draining. That's when we realized our framework needed a container, a structured way to deliver it consistently at a fixed scope and a fixed price without re-engineering the work for every single client. Productizing your delivery is a lot like ordering a meal at Chipotle. When you walk into Chipotle, you don't ask them to make you a cheeseburger or bring ingredients from home asking them to use those. You pick a container, a burrito, a bowl, or tacos, and then you move from left to right down their line. You choose from preset ingredients that are right there in front of you. It's clean, consistent, and the price is always the same. But here's the genius. It feels custom to the customer, even though it's fully productized. That's what you want in your business. Your signature framework becomes the ingredients. Your packaging, your burrito, is the delivery model. You decide what goes in it, what doesn't, and how it gets delivered. That's how you eliminate scope creep, protect your margins, and deliver consistently without losing the personal touch. So let me show you how to wrap your framework that we just created into a tight, productized package, just like Chipotle. Step number 1 is to list your delivery milestones. You gotta ask yourself, what actually needs to happen to get them to this result? Step 2 is to group those into 4 to 6 stages. Think onboarding, delivery, offboarding. And then step 3, assign a timeline. How long does each stage take realistically? Now here's a tip, add some constraints. We built our automation in 7 days, and it isn't just a timeline, it's actually a selling point. So now you've packaged your service like Chipotle, clean scope, fixed price with a smooth process, but the container, it's only half the battle. If delivery still relies on hand-holding, last-minute file exchanges, and Slack messages like, hey, where's that onboarding document again? You're not productized, you're just polished. To scale, your delivery can't feel like a scavenger hunt. It has to run like a system, which brings me to step number 4. When we built out our productized service, we sat down and asked, what are we doing over and over again for every client? How do we templatize that? So we created a few systems, a single intake form that replaced 5 back and forth emails, pre-built opt-in pages clients could actually customize in minutes, and or our team could customize in minutes, plug and play email sequences, so we weren't rewriting copy. In fact, our clients were using those to write the copy, standardized automation campaigns that really delivered 80% of the value with 20% of the effort. Suddenly, onboarding and delivery took days, not weeks, We made fewer mistakes. Our team had fewer questions. And the best part, clients didn't even see the system. They just felt the difference. It was fast, it was clear, and it was smooth. And it felt premium because it was predictable. That's the power of systemizing your delivery. So now let me walk you through how to build simple systems around your delivery, even if you're a solo operator, so your service will run smooth like a machine behind the scenes. Step 1, create a master intake form. Collect what you need once, clean and complete. Step 2, build delivery templates. This could be your opt-in pages, your email copy, docs and checklists that, for the things that you do each and every single time. Step 3, automate your communications. Use tools like Zapier to trigger confirmations, reminders, and status updates. Another bonus tip, start with what you repeat most often when you're building and make that 0-click type simple. Now our systems were humming, but we still hit a ceiling on my calendar. My calendar was full and I didn't want to hire a bigger team just to keep up. We actually needed a smarter way to deliver the exact same outcome without cloning me or adding more people, which brings me to step number 5. Done for you client work is amazing until it traps you. We hit a point where demand was really high, but my calendar was full. Every new client meant more hours on my end, and I couldn't really scale without cloning myself. Now, for me, I didn't want to build out a full course. I didn't want to disappear for 3 months building curriculum. So I asked myself, what if we delivered the same outcome, but in a more leveraged way? That's when we pre-sold our first program called Funnels That Scale. It was a small group version of our Done For You service. We used the exact same framework, no reinvention. Mondays, we taught the steps and we gave our new members all the assets and the tools. On Thursdays, we ran a live Q&A, and in between, clients worked with our support. It was super simple. It was lean and a profitable one from day one. But more importantly, it proved people wanted the outcome, even if we didn't do the work for them. That offer became the foundation for everything that followed. Our training curriculum, our group coaching and consulting programs, licensing, all because we took one small step into a one-to-many delivery model. And we didn't need a course. We didn't need automation. We didn't need fancy anything in order to do it. Just a live call, a slide deck, and the process that we had already been using for all of those done-for-you clients the years before. So how do you do the same even if you've never sold a group consulting program before? Start with your done-for-you process. Break it into teachable chunks across 6 to 8 weeks. Host a weekly training session, live on Zoom is perfect, and add one Q&A call later in the week. Use Slack or a tool like School for support in between. Forget the course, just use slides, your voice, and your framework. Now here's the thing. This new offer, the small group version of your Done For You service, became the foundation of phase 2 that I mentioned earlier. Same framework, same tools, just delivered in a leveraged one-to-many format without needing a big team or doing all the work ourselves. And here's why this mattered. With our Done For You productized service running smoothly, we were earning about 35 to 50K a month reliably. But if our goal was to hit 100K a month, that meant we had a 50 to 65K a month gap to fill, and we didn't want to fill it by taking on more of those Done For You clients. So this group offer became that strategic lever for us. We started really small. The first cohort was $2,000 a person. The next round was $5,000. We eventually got up to $7,800. And then after that, there was an ongoing support for $500 a month. A handful of clients per month, plus a growing base of members to this new program that was one-to-many. That's what filled that gap to get us to 100K a month. Not by doing more work, but by repackaging our expertise into a model that's scaled with our time, not against it. Now, this offer would ultimately fill that gap to 100K a month, but only if we could sell it consistently. Pre-selling proved it worked, but now we needed a repeatable system to scale it without duct taping deals together, which is what brings us to step number 6. That's when we built out what we now call the consultation engine. The engine consists of 2 parts. Part 1 is a 15-minute discovery fit call, just enough time to filter out anyone who's not a fit. Part 2, a 45-minute consultation call, where serious prospects walk through their current state, their goals, and how our process helps them get there. There were no pitch decks, there was no pressure, just a clear conversation. It felt really natural, prospects felt seen, and our close rate shot up. Most importantly, we could track everything. We booked who showed, what questions stalled the sale, why people said yes or no. And because we recorded these calls, we had instant sales training for ourselves and later for our team when it wasn't me selling. If you want to build your own consultation engine, here's how. First, we have the discovery fit call. Use a 15-minute slot with a short calendar form, asking qualifying questions. Your goal is really to screen for intent and fit, not to pitch. After you have that conversation, you invite the qualified people to a consultation call. On this call, we focus on 3 parts. Where are they now? Where do they want to go? And how our framework is going to get them there. You got to track and learn from each and every call. Note every objection, watch the replays. This is where your sales process starts to sharpen itself. The consultation engine worked, but too many calls still felt like we were convincing, not qualifying. So the next step is where we built something that flipped the whole script and brought in prospects already sold on the offer. Step number 7. What if every sales call started with, "I already watched your video, I'm in"? That's the power of a video sales letter or a conversion video. A video that sells your offer, your worldview, and your results, but on autopilot. We built a simple VSL. It was nothing fancy that walked through 4 things: the problem that our audience was stuck in, the system that we used to escape it, the results that those people could expect if they worked with us, and then we invited the ones that wanted help to book a call. We didn't need a funnel team or fancy edits, just a strong narrative and a clear call to action. Over time, this video became a 24/7 salesperson. Most prospects came pre-sold, objections dropped, and conversion rates climbed. The reality is, the better your marketing, the simpler your sales will be. Here's how to create your own and do it fast, even if you've never done a video like this before. Step 1 is to script it using the following structure. The first part is identifying the problem. Here's where you're going to address why what your prospect is currently doing isn't working. The next, we want to go into the possibility, basically expressing and showing them that there is and introducing a better way, which means we need to show them that new way, which brings us to the path. And the path is really just saying, hey, here's how we're going to get you to this result. And once you show them how you're going to get them to the result, they're obviously going to need the next thing, which is proof. And in proof, you're just basically saying, look, this is how it worked for me, and or this is how it worked for my clients. You might want to give obviously examples there. Then we go into the pitch. Here's what to do next, right? That's the framework. Step number 2 is record it in kind of a Loom style or, a slide with face cam process. It could be as simple as just something like this. I had some presentation slides and I recorded mine via Loom, slides present with my little face there in the corner. Step 3 is to add it to your calendar page, link it in your emails, and post that link wherever your audience is. Try to keep it between 15, 30 minutes, short enough to watch, but strong enough to convert. A VSL that runs 24/7 is great, but not if no one's watching it. So we need a consistent way to get more eyes on our offer every single day without chasing leads or any sort of duct tape tactics. So that's what step 8 is all about. So we built a simple marketing funnel. We published YouTube videos. We ran some ads, all of which pointed people to our video sales letter, getting them on our email address, and we would invite them to our discovery call. From the discovery call, the right ones got invited to a consultation call. YouTube brought in warm organic leads. Ads gave us faster reach. The VSL handled the heavy lifting, email kept us top of mind, and our calls did the converting. It wasn't a massive funnel, but it gave us pipeline predictability and helped us track what was actually driving revenue. Want to build your own version? I highly encourage you to start simple. Pick your traffic source, whether that's YouTube, Instagram, or paid ads. Point it to that VSL. Add that link to your bio, your calendar page. Start weaving it into the PS of your emails and your social posts. Follow up with value emails for people that opt in to watch it. 2 to 3 short emails per week with insights or client wins. You can add clear calls to action, invite leads to book that discovery call, or reply with questions if they have it. Bonus, use trackable links so you know which communications, which assets that you've created are actually converting them to your calls. Once leads are flowing and calls are converting, the next bottleneck isn't traffic. It's you. If you want to drive profit and acquire more customers without working more hours in the next step, you need to actually remove yourself from delivery without sacrificing client results, which brings us to step number 9. When we first launched our group offer, we taught it live. Like I said, week by week. We answered the same questions. We repeated the same lessons over and over. But we were also paying attention. We saw what clients rewatched, what they got stuck on, and which assets actually helped them make the progress inside of our process. So we took what worked, we ditched what didn't, and we built foundations, a clean, on-demand version of our process organized by milestones. And it wasn't a course. We actually had a performance engine built. It was designed to help clients get results with minimal handholding. There were on-demand videos, but there was a ton of support and pre-built things that they already got to use, really speeding up the implementation. That one move gave us margin, scale, and better outcomes all at once. Now, you don't need to build a giant course. Just start with what you've already delivered. Here's how. Review the live sessions that you delivered. Look for the common questions and replays. And then you take that and you script tighter, clearer lessons, 5 to 15 minutes max. Organize them by phase or milestone aligned with your process that we made earlier, and make the path obvious. Add lightweight assets. This could be templates, checklists, worksheets, swipe copy. You can host it in a platform like School or Notion, or Google Drive is plenty. Ours was just a bunch of videos with PDFs inside of Google Drive folders in version 1. Now, many years later, we have platforms like School, which is what we use. But the tip here is to keep version 1 lean. Your goal is still results, not like this completely polished thing. Once your assets are in place, there's only one thing left to do. Stop hiding it from the rest of the world and the rest of your market. You've proven the model. You've got the outcomes. The next step is going public about it. So that brings us to step number 10. After running the group program live a few times, we had what we needed: a framework that delivered results, a handful of success stories, and systems that didn't depend on me showing up every hour. So we did what I suggested. We rolled it out. No big launch, no crazy funnel. We updated our video sales letter. We tweaked the sales call conversation script, and we sent a few emails to our email list that we had been building. It simply said, look, here's what we've built. It works. We're opening the doors for more people to come in. That was a turning point from testing to scaling. That's when it actually started to feel real. So here's how to roll yours out without overwhelm. I want you to email your list. Tell the story. How did you come to this program? How did you end up building it out? Update your video sales letter and your sales call flow. Highlight the group format and the wins that have been coming in from the early versions. Simplify the path to join. Use a calendar link, an application form, or a landing page. We sent out a light promo, 2 to 3 emails, a strong value post, or a short info session. That's it. No launch stack, no list of bonuses, no 57 email sequences, just a clear invitation to a proven offer that was working. Like I said, this is just the first move in taking your offer to the public. But to keep scaling it and growing it consistently month after month, you need a full marketing engine behind it. If you want help building and launching your productized offer, the framework, the delivery system, the sales process, and marketing, that's exactly what we do inside my program. So click the link below to apply, see if it's a fit. If you're serious about turning your service into a scalable leverage business, we'd love to help. And if your offer is ready, but you're not sure how to fill it consistently with new clients, watch the next video where I break down how I got hundreds of clients even though my marketing sucked.